Well, welcome back. First video in a very long time. Today we're looking at the Studio Series Age of Extinction Knight Optimus Prime. Now, this is a leader class. He is pretty fantastic all in all. I had the original one back when it came out. I think I still have it upstairs somewhere. And he is just amazing. Ignore the whining in the back. My dog doesn't like it when I speak and there's nobody here. So, as far as accessories goes, we have a smaller blade. This is Optimus's, whooshink, like wrist blade that pops out. It can be wielded both in his hand and he has a wrist slot for it, which I will show once we get to robot mode. We have the big knight sword. This actually comes unplugged here. There's no reason for this. His hands open up and it just pops in that way, but there's really no need for this. My guess is it's just the best way they could mold it and have everything look right. Here we have the scabbard piece. I have some opinions on this that I want to show once we get to robot mode. It's a good idea, not perfectly executed. And then, of course, we have his shield. This actually comes apart in 3 pieces because if you recall in the movies, it pops open and there's a machine gun. So you pop these off, plug them back in like so, and you have its gun mode. The instructions actually show him holding it like this, which is really weird. My only gripe with this, I've heard some people complain about his lack of paint on it. I don't really see an issue with that. My only thing is I wish these were on sliders so they could slide in and have these pegged together right here. Just slide in, slide out, do it that way. I think that would work a little bit better. So overall, though, very nice. Everything can store in vehicle mode. So let me get this back like this. We're going to go over vehicle mode real quick. So it is... I would call this vehicle mode about as perfect as you're going to get for this. This is based on a Western Star. I don't know the exact model, but it's a Western Star tractor trailer. It was really cool. I thought it was actually a really cool design. I prefer his original Peterbilt design from the movies, but this grew on me. Also, my dad's a truck driver, and he drives a Western Star, so a little bit of bias there. So as far as this goes, everything's pretty cool. They did a really good job. They even molded in the deck plates back here. They molded in the 5th wheel. Yes, that's what this is called. Everyone calls this a trailer hitch, and being from a truck driving family, it always peeves me because I'm like, that's called a 5th wheel, damn it. Anyway, but yeah, pretty clean underside too. Overall, I don't really have much for gripes about this other than maybe if these actually peg together. The back, they did a really good job molding in some chains hanging down off the headache rack here. I really appreciate the details put into this, and I'm actually very pleased with it. Robot mode has some issues, but nothing that I think you could get away from with this design. So, as far as weapon storage goes, so you can take the wrist blade, and on one side it has this little notch in it. And on both sides of the truck, you have a tab right here. You can see it on this side too. So you can just peg this in. This is actually a very secure tab. I was a little bit surprised that this doesn't fall off or anything. That sits on there really securely. Granted, it kind of looks dopey, but it looks decent enough, and it's a place you can stick it. Now, as far as the other stuff goes, you take this piece, you take the sword, thread it through. You take the shield, peg it on, and you thread the sword in through the back. Peg it on. And it doesn't sit flush, but it's good enough. And shazam! You have storage. Is it perfect? No. But he doesn't have a trailer, so this is what you're going to get. So, I did not think ahead and grab any size comparisons for vehicle mode. Actually, you know what? I do have a size comparison. Here we go. We will put him next to my Studio Series 86 Prime. See, they're actually pretty similar in overall girth. And then, obviously, one's a long face truck, one's a cab over. But still, I mean, even with that, he's about the same length. He's a little bit shorter. So, yeah. So, anyway, let's get down to the transformation. Now, this transformation is complicated, but let me put it this way. I didn't need the directions when I did this. I did this all just by intuition, which tells you that it's a very good transformation. Can you stop squeaking that, please? Thank you. So, I'm going to start off. You're going to come to the sides here. You're going to unpeg. These parts tab in right here. And there's also a little hitch right here. It's a little tab that hooks in over here. These are literally the last parts that you hook in when you're doing this transformation. So once you do that, you want to come over here. These will peg in up here, but it can also kind of pops loose fairly easily, but it's not like, it doesn't have any issues with the structure of it. Then you're going to want to unpeg these. Half of the fifth wheel will fold in here. And from here, actually, we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to untab this, undo this, and we're going to fold that in. Next, we're going to come up here and just the very top of the truck right here, you're going to unpeg. I'm going to pull back like this. Now, one thing I do want to show you is in here, you have the shoulder pads. When you're transforming it into truck mode, make sure that these are angled in towards the center and pegged in. If you don't, the roof of the truck will not sit flush. Those two bits right there will keep the roof from sitting flush. So, from there, you want to come back here, split this open. And I will say this, the leg transformation is quite amazing. So, you want to fold this down. This is on a double hinge right here. Now, you'll see there's a peg right here, or a peg hole right here, and a peg right there. So you want to bring this in, and it's a little bit tricky to get it right at first, but you will. It's all about getting this in at its right angle for it to sit in and peg into place. Then you want to spin this piece. You want to take this whole strut, fold it down. You will then take, this piece folds out, this piece folds down. And you will then bring it up. Oh, no, I got that backwards, sorry. So you fold it in on itself like so. And what you do is this piece is going to fold around the back. I should show it from this angle. I'm going to fold around the back and fold over on this. This piece is then going to fold down and peg in right here. I don't know how well you can see that. I need a better light source. Just like that. And then that leg is going to fold out this way. You can always tell which way to fold the legs because if you look at this molding right here, it will, these two bits right here will match up. So then after that, you fold one leg out, or you fold the heel out and you fold the foot out. Boom, one leg done. So fold this down, make sure it pegs in right. Fold this piece over, let it peg in right. Fold, fold. Now, fold and peg. And then rotate the leg right, spin the foot. You have the legs. Now, rotate the waist, flip down crotch plate. Now, this is where it gets pretty interesting. This all is going to move really fast. So, top pops up just a little bit. This flips up here. Again, when you're pegging this, when you're transforming this back into a truck, this peg up here is going to tab in right here. So you need to make sure this is lined up right. So you do that, flip that up on both sides. Then unpeg. These arms will peg together right here and fold out. And these arms will actually peg into these panels too. So once you do that, you fold this down. You can actually straighten the arms at this point. And then you'll see this panel right here. I'm going to fold it down, fold it in, clips into place. You want to do the same thing on this side. Fold down, fold in, clips into place. Okay, now, this is where things get a little bit weird. So, gonna come over here and unpeg from the sides. You have these parts right here. You're gonna unpeg from the sides. They clip in pretty well. And you are going to fold these down. Like so, and fold out the skirt pieces. You'll then take the chest piece, fold out this part right here, and fold down here. Now, going to bring it up so that these false smokestacks right here line up with his shoulders. Bring these forward. And then this is basically just a matter of getting everything angled right. It's a little bit of a pain at first. It's also a pain doing this in front of a camera because, you know, everything when you do it in front of a camera automatically turns into at least 3 times more annoying. So, do that, and boom. Oh, hold on a second. So yeah, and you know, this all tabs in relatively good. They're not super long tabs, so this is unfortunately a part where you're just going to have to fiddle with the shoulder bits and the chest to make it sit the way it needs to. So then just want to rotate the arms forward. Now we're going to come back here to the backpack. Backpack is a very simple matter. You just rotate it. It's going to rotate down here. Flip this part in, bring it down. The sides will actually fold in right here and then tab right there. Just like that. Now, unfortunately, I'm doing this at a bit of a downward angle, so bear with me for just a second. I need to raise the camera ever so slightly. So here we go. Now we have Prime in his robot mode. Now, here's the deal. From the front, he's perfect. Like, smokestacks right there, but who cares? The only issue with this figure comes when you do this. And even for the sorcery that is this figure and the insanity that is his movie design, this is really good. Like, this isn't bad at all. It's way more organized than the original Age of Extinction figure. So I am very happy with this figure. And again, if you notice, like I said, all of his transformation was very intuitive. I didn't have to use the instructions at all because it was just one of those like, oh, so that goes like that, and that goes like that. Okay, cool. So yeah, he's pretty damn easy to figure out. So a few things. Number one, head sculpt is great. The eyes aren't perfect, but unfortunately getting that glowing blue color for his eyes is just not something you're really going to do well. I've seen a few people take like a weathering kit for model kits and take like gunmetal and just cover this part and cover some of the back here. And it actually gave them a lot more personality. Basically, they just took all the gray parts and kind of dusted it up, gave it a little bit of a metallic look. So overall, though, I'm happy. I think he's completely satisfactory. Could he be a little bit better? Probably, but not at this price point. And that's the thing you need to remember. At this price point, you should be very happy with what we were given here. Now, go with the posability. Head's on a ball joint, pretty good range. Not much up and down, but pretty good around. So the shoulders are on these weird... they're weird friction hinges that also have swivels. The shoulder panel also has its own independent joint here, which gives you a full 360, full range of shoulder movement. You have a full 360 on the bicep. You have a double jointed elbow. You have a wrist. You also have an inner hinge joint at the wrist. And you have an articulated hand. You have a waist joint, but it doesn't work great because of all of the other stuff. Plenty of modders have just started making it so you just pop the backpack off. If you want to do that, you can. I don't see a lot of reason for it. Get the skirts out of the way. You get all of the leg rotation, all of the leg articulation you're going to need. You got the knee articulation, you got the thigh. You have a pretty good ankle pivot. And that's not really a joint, it's just a bit of a rock in the ankle that you could probably make use of. So, you know, he's as close to perfect as we're going to get in this price point and size scale. Now, let's take him off to the side here. We're going to bring back in the stuff. Now, as far as storage on him goes, if you just want to stick it off to the side, this is my one gripe. If you want to use it, if you want to store anything on his back, you have to take this panel, flip it up, and then plug this in here. Now, unfortunately, that causes an immediate ugly right here, and I don't like that. That is a gripe I do have. The other thing you can do is the blade can actually peg in right here. And again, just like in the truck mode, it's very secure. Like you're not, I mean, if you hit it down there, obviously it's going to fall off, but other than that, it's pretty good. So wielding this one, as I said, he can either hold it in his hand, which looks kind of dopey. But if you look at the way this peg is designed, it's actually built to peg into the wrists because he did briefly use his wrist blade. And it will actually fold back. Okay, that was my bad. You can actually get his wrist back pretty close to normal. Or, you know, at a very natural, you know, if you had a wrist blade. So you have that. And then obviously we want him to wield his big weapons. So you can unsheath the sword, unpeg the shield. I will say this, once this scabbard piece is back in, you can have that sitting flat. I mean, it sticks out further like that, but you can still get that nice silhouette. And then, of course, you can take the shield. Come on, get in there. Plug it into his arm. You can undo this and have it in its gun mode too if you want. I don't particularly like the way it looks. Open up the hand. And boom. Now, what's funny is the original Age of Extinction one, everybody said the sword was too small. This one, I think, might be just a hair too big. Just a little bit. Like, I don't know, maybe just like 2 or 3 millimeters too long. Maybe 2 millimeters. So, still though, he looks pretty freaking dope. And for size, here we have Studio Series Prime. He's a little bit taller than, or Studio Series Prime is a little bit taller than him. Definitely a bit beefier, but you know, this is Commander with enhanced engineering, way more money put into this and a little bit more money put into the size. And this is a leader class, so there's bound to be some discrepancies there. The other thing is, you know, when it comes to size comparisons between G1 Studio Series and movie stuff, I'm not expecting matchups because that would just be weird. So yeah, overall, I think that if you liked the Bay movies at all, then he's a must-get. If you didn't like the Bay movies, then yeah, skip out on him. I mean, unless you're just a completionist and you just want to buy bots for the sake of buying bots, then, you know, you can do that. But, you know, I mean, if you really like the Transformers from the Bayverse, I would pick him up. Whoop, I undid his arm. Holy crap. I haven't done that before. What did I do wrong? Oh, wait. There we go. It was sitting in wrong. So there. So yeah. Anyway, that was Studio Series Age of Extinction Knight Optimus Prime. And yeah, catch you in the next video.